What if everyone on Earth could have a phone call from anywhere? Or imagine a world without connectivity gaps. That's where AST SpaceMobile comes into play. Now, you've maybe heard about AST SpaceMobile if you're interested in that industry, if you're interested in rockets, Rocket Labs, SpaceX, Planet Labs, etc., etc. Or you've just seen the stock go up and up and up and up. Even Thursday, stock went up 50%. Why is that? Well, that's what we're going to discuss in this video. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, notification bell. Would really appreciate that. We're trying to go to the moon. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers now that we're more than halfway there. So thank you everyone for all the support. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. So let's start with a little recap. Year to date, the stock is actually up closer to 500%. It has a market cap of $8.44 billion. And as you can see here, Thursday, August 15, the stock went up 50%. It, of course, reported earnings. Well, earnings. There are no earnings, but they reported some positive stuff. Year over year, stock is up over 750%. And in the last 3 months, the stock is over 1,000%. Yes, you heard that right. Now, the analyst estimates, they think that they'll generate $3.65 million of revenue in fiscal year 2024, $141.7 million in revenue in fiscal year 2025, so a 3,782% jump year over year, and then 814 million, another 474.9% jump year over year in fiscal year 2026, but they'll still be unprofitable. And so yes, right now you're paying a huge premium on this company, a market cap of $8.44 billion, while only expected to generate $3.65 million in fiscal year 2024. For the sake of comparison, let me show you Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab today has a market cap of $2.9 billion, and they are expected to generate $425 million in fiscal year 2024. 8-point-something billion dollars SpaceMobile, or $2.9 billion Rocket Lab. Currently, the average analyst price target for AST SpaceMobile sits at $24.20, representing 22.8% downside from the price we're at today. Of course, right now, not that many analysts are covering this company, only 5. But we did have one analyst that did upgrade his price target by quite a lot. That's why the average has jumped up from $17.22 to now $24.20. But of course, you have to remember that a lot of times analysts just follow the stock price. Because let's say, worst case scenario, a month from now, this stock has dropped 50%. Nothing has changed from the business perspective, but the stock price has changed. You know what will happen? Suddenly, those ridiculous price targets that they just put, right? $30, $33, because there are some analysts with those price tag. They're going to say, oh, actually, we're going to revise our numbers. And now actually the price target sits at closer to $15, $16. We've seen that in the past. We've seen that with C3AI. We've seen that with, well, NVIDIA way before it actually jumped. We've seen that with Rivian as well. And now maybe we might see it with SpaceMobile. So don't always focus on the analyst price target because they just change with the wind. Now, what do they actually do, right? Okay, you might have invested in this stock because you've seen it on a forum, investment advice, whatever. But what do they actually do? Is it important? Do they have a moat? Who's the competitors? Rocket Lab, SpaceX, what do they do? Okay, let me explain. So, cue in the nice visuals. AST SpaceMobile, they aim to provide global cellular coverage from space, uses a constellation of satellites in low Earth orbit, and they're compatible with standard mobile phones, no special equipment needed. Why is it so important? Well, it bridges the digital divide by providing internet access to billions, a bit like SpaceX Starlink, but here it's specifically for mobile phones. Potential to revolutionize economies and societies in underserved areas. What makes it unique? Well, their proprietary technology for transmitting cellular signals from space. They focus on compatibility with standard mobile phones. Now, of course, it's still early days, but since now there is a lot of attention, believe it or not, with regard to the space race, space industry, space economy, so that has attracted significant investment. high investor interest due to massive market potential. Of course, you can take the example of Starlink. And so this company has attracted quite a lot of attention. Now, what is the market potential here? So there are untapped markets. Billions of people worldwide still lack reliable internet access. So AST SpaceMobile service can open up entirely new markets, especially in rural and remote areas. It can improve connectivity that can boost economic growth, create jobs, and improve education and healthcare services in underserved regions. The technology could enable new industries and applications such as IoT, remote sensing, and real-time data analytics. As a pioneer in this space, AST SpaceMobile has the opportunity to capture a significant market share and generate substantial revenue. Now, I know you might be asking yourself, okay, but it does sound like SpaceX Starlink might be a competitor. Well, it's undoubtedly a major player in the satellite internet market. However, there are some key distinctions between the two. Like I said, SpaceX primarily focuses on high-speed, while SpaceX Starlink focuses on high-speed broadband internet. SpaceMobile aims to provide cellular service compatible with standard mobile phones. The two companies employ different technologies to achieve their goals. SpaceMobile's technology is specifically designed for cellular connectivity, while SpaceX Starlink focuses on broadband internet access. Now, it's true that maybe today they're not direct competitors, but in the future, who says that Starlink might not switch to mobile, right? Cellular service. Could very well be. Plus, by the way, do you know how SpaceMobile gets into space? Well, with SpaceX. So, no SpaceX, no space. Well, no SpaceX, maybe less affordable way for SpaceMobile to go into space. So that's a huge advantage again from Space's point of view. Now, more recently, there was some good news even before the earnings report. So the FCC approves SpaceMobile launch of first commercial satellites, each the largest ever communication array to be deployed commercially in low Earth orbit. So the US Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC, has granted an initial license for space-based operations in the United States. With this initial license, AST SpaceMobile is now authorized to launch and operate VSN UHF frequencies to support gateway, feeder link, and telemetry tracking and control operations for the first 5 commercial Bluebird satellites. This FCC grant represents a critical step to advancing several important goals shared by SpaceMobile and the Commission, including closing the digital divide, expanding access to emergency communications, accelerating digital transformation, and advancing US leadership in direct-to-device regulation. Now, during 2024, SpaceMobile has secured additional strategic investment from AT&T, Verizon, Google, and Vodafone, as well as new contract awards with the United States government through a prime contractor. The company has agreement with more than 45 mobile network operators, which has over 2.8 billion existing subscribers total. Now, this is great news, of course. This is just the first step, but it's great to hear that they're still on track. They got the approval. That's great. Now, AST will be launching its initial 5 Bluebird satellites on its way to the ultimate goal of 168 satellites, so still a long way to go. But the problem here is that it's going to cost an excess of $5 billion. Now, they did get some investments from the likes of AT&T, Verizon, etc. Okay, but $5 billion, when currently in 2024 you've generated $1.4 million in the course of $900,000, total operating expenses keep on increasing, net loss has increased quite significantly as well, and you only have cash equivalents, and restricted cash of under $300 million, then of course, one, you're probably going to raise more money, which means dilutions for existing shareholders, or you're going to need more strategic partnerships. Which of course, I mean, if you're an investor today, you probably know this already, but if you want this company to be successful, to survive, then I mean, you wouldn't mind dilution right now, because otherwise they won't survive and you won't get to that stage where this company could potentially generate billions of dollars each and every year. You just have to know this, especially today at a market cap of over $8 billion. Don't be surprised if they suddenly raise money at this valuation. It would actually be the smart thing to do. Now, another good thing, and that's why the stock was up 50% on Thursday, well, first 5 commercial satellites on target for dedicated orbital launch in the first half of September, each the largest ever communication arrays to be deployed commercially in low Earth orbit. So on track, a couple of weeks from now, they're going to go to space. Final assembly and environmental testing completed successfully at AST SpaceMobile manufacturing facilities in Texas. Satellites are now in Cape Canaveral preparing for launch vehicle integration ahead of a confirmed launch date, secured FCC approval as we've just seen. We stand at a pivotal moment for AST SpaceMobile. The arrival of our first 5 commercial satellites at the launch site marked the culmination of years of relentless innovation and perseverance in partnership with industry leaders like AT&T, Google, Verizon, Vodafone, Rakuten, among others. The upcoming orbital launch is a significant step towards fulfilling our mission to eliminate dead zones and empower communities worldwide with space-based cellular broadband connectivity. And so, of course, the market is very excited to hear that, because once these satellites are in space, they can start to operate. This company can start to actually generate some revenue. And this is just the start. Only 5 out of 168, and maybe even more in the future. Who knows? But there is always a correct price to pay for things. If you think that this company today is worth over $8 billion, then go ahead. If you want to buy this type of stock right now, go ahead. It's up over $588 since the start of the year. And as you've seen, since, well, beginning of April, it's up 1,557%. RSI extremely overbought as well. If you want to take that risk, that's fine. And your arguments of, yeah, but $8 billion today, what if it's worth $100 billion 10 years from now? Well, great, more than 10x. But what if it isn't worth $100 billion in 10 years? It's also part of the question, right? Not everything will 10x. Plus, their way to $100 billion in market cap is a long way to go, right? We've just seen. They don't have that much money. They're not generating that much money just yet. So they still have to survive, they still have to raise money, probably dilute shareholders. But again, you have to answer those questions for yourself. Me personally, I'm not touching it right now. I own Rocket Lab. I think Rocket Lab is better priced today, generates more revenue, has a better track record as well. They launch rockets. They will have their own constellation as well. I mean, to me, it's a safer bet today. Does that mean that SpaceMobile will not succeed in the future? No. I love space. I love that industry. I'll follow what they do. I'll update you accordingly as well. But to me, today, $8 billion right now is just extremely expensive. If I were management, I would raise a lot of money at current valuation. So that's about it for me in this video. If you enjoyed this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, share your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.